Hi there, this is Patricia from patriciafenty.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make a compact granny square. Traditional granny squares will have a chain 1 between each set of 3 double crochets and a chain 2 or 3 in each corner. I'm going to show you how to do this a little bit differently so you have a more compact pattern like the one on the right with the yellow edging around it. That's the exact same yarn, same hook size, but you can see how much more compact this pattern is. So I am using a number 4 medium weight yarn and a 4mm or G6 crochet hook, and you'll need some scissors and a darning needle. I'll just bring the camera in a little closer so you can see better. So if you're new to crochet, you can check out my beginner crochet series where I teach you everything from a slip knot to how to do tension, how to do chain stitch, and all your basic stitches. So start with a slip knot and put that on your hook and set up your tension, and we'll start with a chain 4. And you're going to create a ring by joining together with a slip stitch in the top stitch of your first chain, and then you're going to chain 3, and this will count as your first double crochet. Then you'll do 2 double crochets into your ring to create your first set of 3 double crochets, and that completes your first cluster. Now instead of chaining 2 or 3 for your corner, just chain 1 and then do another set of 3 double crochets. Oops. And 3, then chain 1, and you'll do that 2 more times, and I'll see you at the end. All right, so here we are coming to the end of this round. And you'll have 4 sets of 3 double crochets with a chain 1 in between. So chain 1, and you'll join your round by doing a slip stitch into the 3rd chain of your beginning chain 3 and chain 1 to fasten off. And then you can just snug that up. And that's your first round. Now we're going to change colors. So to add a new color, you can start with a slip knot, put that on your hook, and then go into any chain 1 space in through the front, set up your tension, grab your yarn from behind, bringing it through the chain 1 space, flip your tail over, and do a slip stitch. And now you've added your second color. So you'll start with a chain 3, and you'll do 2 double crochets. So of course your chain 3 counts as your first double crochet. So do 2 more double crochets, and that completes your first cluster. And we're doing a corner here, so in this corner you'll do just a chain 1 rather than a chain 2 or 3, which is common. Then you'll do another set of 3 double crochets in that same chain 1 space. And then rather doing a chain 1 between your 3 double crochet cluster, you're not going to do any chains. You're just going to go right over to the next corner and work another set of 3 double crochets. And then a chain 1 for the corner, and work another set of 3 double crochets into that chain 1 space. And 3. And then again, you won't do a chain 1 between here. You'll just go right over to the next corner and work another corner. So go ahead and do that all the way around, and I'll see you at the end. So here we are at the end of this round. So I've just finished working that corner, and again, so you're not going to do a chain one, you're just going to finish this round by doing a slip stitch into the third chain of your beginning chain 3. And then a chain 1 to fasten off. And that's the end of that round. And so you can see how that's making this square a little bit more compact and tighter. Now we're going to add on a third color and do this in the same way, starting with a slip knot. There's all different ways to join your new color. I like to do it this way. So going into a corner, always starting in a corner. Put the hook in through the front, bring your yarn from behind, flip your tail over, and do a slip stitch. And that's a nice secure way to add your new color. So again, you'll start with a chain 3. You always start with a chain 3, and that counts as your first double crochet, and then we're going to work a corner. So 2 more double crochets to finish up this cluster, and a chain 1 only, and another set of 3 double crochets into that same chain 1 space. So if you've done granny squares before, you'll adapt to this pattern very easily. And then again, now we're going into this, what would be a chain 1 space, but it's a no chain space. But there is a space there to crochet into. So you'll go straight over there without doing a chain 1 and work a set of 3 double crochets. And 3. And now we're coming to a corner again, and again, no chain 1, just straight into your corner and work another corner. So a set of 3 double crochets, and 3, and then a chain 1, and another set of 3 double crochets into that chain 1 space. And I'm crocheting my tail in wherever possible. So you can hold your tail to the back of your work and crochet that in if you like. Just saves a little bit of darning at the end. So I've completed that corner. So again, we're just going to go over to the next space, and you're not going to chain 1. You'll just go straight over and work a set of 3 double crochets into that space. So that's it. So carry on, and I'll see you at the end of this round. So here we are at the end of this round, and I've worked my last set of 3 double crochets. And again, not a chain 1. Just finish this round by doing a slip stitch into the 3rd chain. And you're always going under 2 posts of that first chain 3. I don't know if you could see that from before. And then chain 1 and fasten off. Now I'm just going to do one more round because I want to show you a really interesting way to finish off a granny square. But so you can see how compact this is. And I'll bring in another square later on to show you. So I'm just going to do one more round just for some practice. So begin with a slip knot. And I'll show you a really nice way to finish this last round, or whatever you choose as your last round. So again, do a slip knot, go into any corner, and fasten it on with a slip stitch, and chain 3, and work your corner. So 2 double crochets, and I'm working my tail in here. Again, you don't have to do that, but I like to work tails in wherever I can. It just does save on some work at the end. So a chain 1 and set of 3 double crochets into that same chain 1 space. and that's 3. And then you're going to go into the next space and work a set of 3 double crochets and work your way along just as before and carry on to the end of the round. All right, so I'm just finishing up this last round. And so rather than fastening off like you do for all the other rounds, I'm going to show you a nice neat way to fasten off. So cut yourself a little tail and pull your yarn out. And then you're going to take your darning needle and thread your yarn on your darning needle. And then you're going to look for that 3rd beginning chain and going under the 2 top posts of that beginning chain 3. It looks like a V stitch, and you put your needle underneath there. And essentially what we're doing is we're replicating one of these chain stitches, one of these top stitches. So you go in under those 2 posts and pull the 2 sides together, and you don't want to pull too hard. You want to sort of replicate the tension that you've been crocheting with. And then you take your needle and you're going to go down between that V stitch. You're going to go right down in the middle of the V stitch and out the back. And then you're going to snug that up and fuss with it a little bit to make it nice and even. And see how nice that gives you a seamless finish. You don't have a knot there. And the reason for doing that on your last round is if you're joining squares together, the knot can often be a real tricky thing to work into, and your stitches can go off count. And so this creates a nice finish. And then you can just darn in your ends as normal. I've already darned in my other ends, so I'll just darn this in and finish this off. Yeah, so it creates a really, really nice finish for the last round of a granny square. Some people don't like darning in the ends. I actually find it kind of relaxing. I quite enjoy it. And there you go. And that is all done. And so if you see the difference here between a regular granny square, and so this was made with the exact same yarn, the exact same tension, the same crochet hook, everything was the same, but this has a chain 1 space in between each set of 3 double crochet and a chain 2 space in each corner. So you can see how this makes a much more compact square, which would be nice if you're wanting to make an afghan. This one will be a little bit warmer than this one because the holes aren't quite so big. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel to get more inspiring and creative videos. Thank you for joining me.